So, good morning. I want to talk about fear. So when you are in fear, when you are in a state of fear, you are retracting. Think about it. When you're in fear, you retract all your energy back to yourself. Your body closes, your emotions close, you close. You become in and it really brings your state of being and your state of awareness down to tunnel vision. When you are in fear, that takes over your whole being and you retract your energy. And think about it, when you are retracting your energy, the energy of the universe around you is you're closing off that energy from you. You are closing yourself in fear. You become energetically a closed being. Also, physically, you can see it. It shapes. So you can also do power poses. It's just an afterthought. When you do power poses, they're like poses of being wide open, standing like this, opening your body wide. It brings the emotion of expansion. It brings you self-confidence. So you can work with, you can either be felt self, when you're self-confident, you stand automatically like this, but when you do the poses yourself intentionally, then you can make yourself feel that empowerment. You have to do it and you have to hold it for a little while until it manages to rise up in you, the emotions. So we affect our emotions just as our emotions affect us. It's like a two-way street. I'm making tea while we speak. I have tea on the gas right there. This, with a few different like plant remedies. I have the gat in there that helps with focus. I have the ashwagandha root, which is a calming, and then I put in Louisa. Louisa is it's kind of lemony. It grows here on my balcony. It's kind of lemony, and it has a really nice flavor to it. It's good for your body. It's good for your stomach and for relaxation also. It also smells really nice and tastes really nice. So when you are in, and think about it, if when you are in a state of fear, then you are disconnecting yourself from the surrounding, energetically from the surrounding, whereas, fear and love are opposites. Fear and, it's not love and hate, it's fear and love. Those are the two opposites. Those are the two sides of the spectrum. So when you are in a state of love, you are interacting with your surroundings energetically, or combining your energy with the energy of the universe, because the universe speaks the language of love. Everything is love. That's why when you are in love, you are in such flow and sync with yourself as well. Just a minute. This has already boiled. I just want to mix it. Put the leaves back down and then cover it for a few minutes so that it can just cover it for a few minutes. And then in the meantime, I spilled coffee. So clean that up. So when you are in a state of fear, you are cutting yourself off from the power of the universe. And then you are also making decisions from a state of fear, a state of lack, a state of not thinking of all of the options that there are, rather thinking of, you are making the options much smaller. When you are acting out of fear, you are bringing the solutions down to the vibration of lack, because fear is lack. Fear is the mindset or perspective of lack. It sits in that there's not enough. I am not safe. There's not enough love in the world. There is, it comes from a place of weakness. Whereas love is expansion. And when you love, you can see as you are expanding your aura, when you are love, when you are speaking of love, when you are pure love. And that expansion, it connects with the universe around you. It connects with other people. So when you are in a state of love and you meet other people and you are vibrating out love, it brings that connection. You connect with the people on that basis. And so you're connecting power to power. I'm going to pause this for a second and connect back. Okay, so I just want to sum it up really quick. So you are a being of love. We are in this physical form, but this is just an experience. We are a spiritual being in this body having this physical experience, and this is the vessel that we were given to carry us through. So we are of love. Fear is of this very base level. It's of the 3D level. It's of the 3D world. When you know that you are a spiritual being here to have this spiritual human experience, then everything becomes an experience. Also, the things that you have to overcome, your emotions, everything becomes an experience. And when you learn to master your emotions and you learn who you are, there is no fear. Fear falls away because you understand that fear is a pass-through emotion. It has come to teach you something. It has come to allow you to overcome it in this place. Wherever you are acting out of fear, you are out of sync, which is the language of love. You are out of love with the universe. So when you feel that fear come up, right? There's different kinds of fear. And I know that everything is not absolute, but there are, fear is something that has come up that is threatening your way of being, threatening your comfort, threatening the way that you think things should be. There is fear that comes up when you meet a lion on your path and but then your instincts kick in and adrenaline kicks in. So that's a completely different ball game. I'm talking about fear, mind-based fear. The language of the universe is love. And so anytime that you are living out of fear, then you are disconnected from who you really are. You are disconnected from your source. You are disconnected from your internal being, which understands eternally that everything is just an experience, and that everything that we can get through everything, and everything makes us stronger, and everything comes to teach us something, and everything comes to give us a lesson in our own alignment. So when we are living in fear-based, we're living in ego-based. And when we transcend into love-based, we are in our internal, eternal, spiritual being that knows that everything is perfect just as is. Everything has come to teach us something. Everything has come to bring us back to source. Everything has come to expand us and give us the opportunity of lesson. We can get stuck in the fear and then we don't get the lesson. We can get stuck in the fear and then we don't realize that the fear has come to teach us something and has come to give us a boost into our lives. Sometimes things come and knock our lives out of shape because we're so out of sync, which if we're out of sync with the universe, then something is going to come and knock us into shape because we're out of sync. It is the natural way of things. And then when something comes in and starts knocking us out of shape, like a divorce or losing our house or losing someone close to us, or a friendship or a business that goes out of business, or things that we perceive as bad, or things that we perceive as uncomfortable as we go through them, those are the things that make change in our life, and those are the things that we grow from the most. So when we can relax into it, when we have so much experience in our lives that we can already see the pattern of that in our past, when we start feeling the fear, we start saying, okay, changes are coming. Changes are coming. What is this coming to teach me? How am I going to expand from this? What are the lessons that I'm getting from this? So when we have fear, we can understand that fear, first of all, is out of sync with source. It's out of sync with our inner being. When we are in fear, it's because we don't know who we are. It's because we are out of sync with our natural selves. And fear, it closes us off from the all. It closes us off energetically. We go... Have you ever noticed when you're fearful, you sync up and it closes us off? When we're open and in love with everything, we naturally flow with nature around us. We naturally flow with people around us, with situations. We flow through situations. Everything just seems to work out. Have you ever noticed that when you're in love, everything works out? All of your relationships, you are in love with life. You are in love with yourself. You are in love with your surrounding. You're speaking the language of your internal being. You're speaking the language of the universe. You're speaking the internal language of every single person. Has that love language flowing through them. And so when you learn what fear is and you learn how to alchemize it, which means start pulling yourself out of it, start looking for things to be grateful for, start looking for appreciation. Appreciation will bring you to joy. When you start appreciating the things that you have, and there's always something to appreciate, always. There is, appreciate that we have running water. Appreciate that we have warm water to take showers. 2,000 years ago, they didn't have warm water to take showers. They had to go shower and they had to go swim in the creek. Yeah, that we have clothes and buildings and knowledge and internet and capability to get to videos, capability to do videos and put them up and to be an expression, capability of reaching far and wide, capability of doing almost anything that we really want to do, that we can set our mind to do, and that we can emotionally vibrate with, we can achieve. Anything that we can imagine. We have this wonderful imagination. Our imagination creates worlds, So when we are living in fear-based, we're cutting ourselves off from the universe. We are shrinking. We are making decisions that are not aligned with our internal being. We're making decisions based on lack and based on circumstances, and not decisions that we actually sit down and think, okay, what is the best outcome for this? What do I want to do? Rather than how can I solve this? It comes from a completely different way of looking at things. And when you're making decisions from a place of prosperity, then you make the best decision for the situation. When you make it from a base of fear or from lack, then you're making means. You're making it work out for the time being. You're not actually expanding your life to the expansion of potential that it has. So fear really inhibits. Fear inhibits our life, inhibits our connection to all. It inhibits the outcomes. It inhibits our emotions. It makes us feel small. And you can just take it and alchemize it. Start looking for things to be appreciative of. Start looking for appreciation. And slowly appreciation will move you into the emotion of love. And once you're in the emotion of love, that is a place to create from. When you're in emotion of love, then everything is working out for you. When you are in emotion of love, you see how things will work for you, and the paths open up in front of you. You can see how you're going to play it out. When you live in fear, you're afraid of taking the next step. You're afraid that you're not going to be provided for. You're afraid that it's not going to work out, that you're going to look like a failure. There's all sorts of fears that people have. I'm going to lose my, if I leave my job and go for something that I really want, then I may lose my house, or maybe I can't do it, or there's all sorts of questions and things that come up when we start making life changes. And we start being, what ifs, all the what ifs. But we can go through a whole lifetime. I've met people that have worked at the same job in the same office for 30 years of their life. That means every morning they get up and they go there for 8 or 9 hours and sit in that cubicle for 30 years. They give away the power of their life because of fear of making change. And many of them don't even know that they're in fear. They're just loving the security of having a paycheck that's coming through, that's paying for their house, that's keeping their life in a place of security. But that is fear-based, right? Because you're afraid of making change. You're afraid of swooshing the water. You're afraid of shaking things up. You're afraid of your own expansion. You're afraid of, and after a while, you even lose the gumption for it. You even lose the wanting of it, the yearning for it, the expansion of your own self. And then when do you go through all of the what ifs? After you're in retirement and you're already going down, then it's like, oh, I should have done this in my life, and I wanted to do that in my life, and I could have done this in my life, and why did that? And the people that have had the lives with the most ups and downs and all arounds and this happened and that happened. They have had the most exciting and thrilling, even if they didn't enjoy it every minute, it made them stronger at the end. I can see this in the pattern of my life, the things that I've gone through, things that I've overcome, that I lived for years and years and years, fear-based, fear to leave my marriage, fear. Um, on one hand there was fear, but on the other hand I couldn't sit in one place. So I think that that was also something that's kind of natural born in the way that I was brought up. So it's really taking the fear and alchemizing it. You can use power poses. Power poses, if you are in a state like this and you stand up like this, it can feel really uncomfortable at first, but when you do it after a few minutes, you have 5 minutes of power poses, 5 minutes of expansion. It really makes a difference in how you feel. It really can change your whole perception in that moment. So really learning some tools also to breathe, and to alchemize it. Start looking for things that you are appreciative of. Sometimes it's difficult to find, but you can find. You can always look around, and then there's always fake it till you make it. There's so many different paths to get to the same outcomes. So many different paths. So fake it till you make it. I mean, that's worst case. You just say it to yourself over and over and over until you believe it. Look in the mirror and say, you are spectacular. I love you. Look at all this that you're accomplishing. And just look straight at yourself and tell yourself those stories. It's wonderful. After a while, you see that it starts becoming who you are. You start understanding that openly and consciously. So sending you guys lots of love. This is a video about fear and love. Thank you.